Ramblings of a Semi-Coherent Drunk. To be born a fool. It's been a very long week. I've been put to work properly at a new job, and half the time I was stuck breaking back for assholes who just wanted someone to do the grunt work. My body is angry at me. In particular, my spine is unhappy with me. Do not mistake this for bitching. This is the sort of work I more or less live for. It's not the world's most amazing job, but I like it. I get to drive around a lot, I see a bunch of different people, and I never have a slow day. On the plus side, I never have to go to the gym, because I have to lift heavy shit all day. My kind of stuff. There are assholes, sure, as there are with any job. I work with a few, but as the job is, I don't really have to suffer them for too long. So please, do not take this as any sort of complaint. At the end of the day, I come home so tired I have enough energy to cook, eat, shower, then sleep. It is a nice feeling to be exhausted because I've run myself ragged, as opposed to staying up all night, getting drunk for want of other things to do. I fought with a video game earlier, but since Fallout 3 can only be modded so much before you break it, I have found the breaking point. If by fucking with the game for 30 minutes I am not able to play it, then I am finding something else to do. The lady is a snooze on the couch, next to the cat, and I am in a very cold room writing. There is something I would like to tell anyone listening to the things I say. I usually sit down with a laptop and start out with a very specific feeling or idea I want to get across. I sit down, sip my beer, put it in a Zinn packet, and start writing. As I get to the end of whatever I'm writing, I'm almost always miles off from what I wanted to say. A day or two later, I try and rework it, but it never seems to get where I want it to. Frustrated and bored with the idea, I go through it, spell check it, make sure most of it is grammatically correct, and record it. As a great example of why this practice is necessary, when I went through before recording this, I found that I had grossly misspelled grammatically. To the point, it's a hard thing to do, to put down a feeling in precise accuracy. I'll give you an example. There is a song by Madeleine Perrault called A Prayer. It's very much in the spirit of old slave spirituals. Madeleine herself has a voice about as close to Billie Holiday as you can get to the genuine artifact. The first time I heard the song, I was driving a box truck up around the hills of Terwilliger Boulevard around midnight. It had been a long night. I was feeling kind of lousy. Maybe I'd left the woman on a sour note or something. I just wasn't feeling all that great. As I sat at a stoplight, this song came on. And there was something about the combination of complete isolation, having been alone and not speaking a word to another human being in more than 4 hours, the nighttime darkness that somehow always brings me an odd degree of comfort, the bright streetlights, the traffic signals. As I drove further up the hill to OHSU, I saw the city lights of Portland, as I had every night before. But something about the song, and the feeling of being alone, but not lonely, they all combined into a feeling that I can never describe. I'm trying to now, but I assure you the experience is either wasted or trivialized in these words. It was wonderful. I get that you can picture it, but I got goosebumps. I felt something, and I can't explain that to you. So yeah, that's the sort of thing I usually start out one of these essays with. If nothing else, I feel there's something worth saying about something. I'm aware that that's kind of the reason for all writing, but I just wanted whoever is listening to this to know. I'm usually just trying to tell you something beyond just what I'm saying. I try to make it as clear as possible. And if I keep up with this, then maybe at some point one of these will hit with you. And then you will know that same feeling. That's what I love about music. It does that so effortlessly. Effortlessly maybe isn't the right term, but I think you know what I mean. If you hear a monotone dipshit reciting Shakespeare, it's not going to make much of an impact. But if a skillful actor portrays it, then it's gold. I've been up for 19 hours at time of writing. It's been a long day and a very long week. 60 hours of work thereabouts. I've persevered, and it looks like it's about to pay off. I am glad for this. I am also worried. terrified. I feel like I'm standing at a precipice in my life. I could, from this moment on, make sure my life is fine, if only I used a little restraint and kept myself together. I have stood on this edge more than once. That's the problem. Life has given sway to every imaginable excuse for not doing what I needed to do when I needed to do it. It has not produced great results. Not to my eyes, at any rate. That's the idea that started this rant. The idea that from where I stand, I could really pull some good stuff off. What is it in me that is so self-destructive to want to do anything else? Perseverance, my friends. I've been here a few times. The only thing different this time around is that I'm kind of tired of the half-assing. To persevere is to survive, and survival is dependent on perseverance. I think any trip through Portland may prove that surviving is not enough. If the tents and tarp-built shacks are any indication, no, one must thrive. But that's the ticket in the end, isn't it? Nothing ever ends the way you started out, or even ends the way you planned, not entirely for that matter. It's not all doom and gloom, though. I like to think that even though these stories maybe don't end or end up as the things I want them to, they are still things worth listening to, worth writing at any rate. Otherwise, I doubt you would be hearing them. My goal this year was to do one of these a week, and I don't think I'm living up to that, but I'm working on it. So with that in mind, for anyone else up at 1:47 a.m. in the morning, listening to Metallica's Symphony of Metallica 2, I clink my silver bullet at you and wish you the same luck that I desire.